Yes, Mohanacharyalu sir, I think we can initiate.
Thank you, madam.
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 10th and the last day of our international research workshop on research methodology. As you know, as a part of NEP 2020 and as per the R22 regulations of Vigyan Foundation for Science, Technology and Research deemed to be university, we adopted this workshop as a coursework for the research scholars of this university. And with the kind suggestion of Professor Sharda Madam, it made open to all the research scholars who will benefit with us. On this occasion, I would like to inform you that Vigyan University gives high potential research for all the research scholars, and there are 37 scholars online now, and then 5 scholars are awarded PhD, and 32 scholars are on the line, and 7 more are going to submit their research thesis within the short span of time. With this brief information related to the research activity of the university, I would like to invite Professor Sharda Madam, Head Department of English, Other Indian and Foreign Languages of this university, to have a welcome address on this occasion. Over to Sharda Madam.
Thank you, Professor Mohanacharyalu. So, on behalf of the Department of English and Other Indian and Foreign Languages of VFSTR, that is Vigyan's Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, I extend a very hearty welcome to all the participants for this last session of the 10-day workshop on research methodology. It is an honor and privilege for us to have Dr. Sevukan from the Department of Library and Information Sciences of Pondicherry University, who will be speaking on the topic research and publication ethics. I think it is a fitting topic to close our workshop on, because that is one area which bugs many scholars when they start to go for their submission. How to see that your document is free from plagiarism, how to see that you maintain a proper referencing and bibliography and accounting for all the resources that you have referred or borrowed ideas from. So this is one area which bugs a lot of scholars, and I think Dr. Sevukan's session today will be extremely informative and useful to all of you. So I just to, as Professor Mohanacharyalu sir was already informing, just for the benefit of our resource person, our subject expert today, I would just like to submit a few points for consideration. Sir, our department is supported by a faculty strength of 28 members. And as Professor Mohanacharyalu was pointing out, currently there are 37 scholars pursuing their research in various areas of language, literature, and translation studies. And a good number of them are close to submission, and they are in that process of finalizing their manuscript. And I'm sure that they will be looking forward to getting a lot of inputs from you on this. So I would also like to thank our organizing committee, who have been coordinating this program extremely smoothly, and they have been passing on the information to the participants, external as well as internal participants. And with perfect smooth coordination, they have been seeing that the program is going very effectively and very, very usefully for all the participants. So I once again extend a warm welcome to our resource person, Professor Sevukan, for accepting our invitation so graciously and for showing willingness to share his time and scholarship with us. I thank you, sir. And we will get the session started without any further ado. So,
thank you so much. Shall I start?
1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Yeah. Thank you, Professor Sharda Madam. As a part of formality, today our research scholar, Ms. Shashi, will submit a report on the 9 workshops which we have been conducted for the last 9 workshops. It is only for 2 minutes, not more than that. Now I invite Shashi K from Vijayawada as a research scholar of this university.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, continue.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I am Sasi, a research scholar with Vigyan University. At the outset, I would like to thank the management, Vigyan University and Department of English for giving me this opportunity to give a brief report on the international workshop on research methodology. Our 10-day international workshop began on 5th of December 2023. The first lecture by Professor Venkatareddy was delivered through a deductive approach, whereby he made the students reflect on what is research and how to identify a research problem. The same idea was extended elaborately by Professor G. Rajagopal in the second session held on 7th December. Professor V. Sudhakar gave an erudite talk of the concept of psycholinguistics and its applications in the field of ELT in the third session held on 10th. On the next day, that is 11th, Professor Anoma Satrasinghe delivered a session on the practical implications of doing research and how to avoid mistakes in the field. The fifth session by Samir Babu focused on research documentation, in which he gave some practical guidelines for structuring a research work. The sixth session, held on 13th, shifted focus on literary research. Professor Prakash Kona from Hyderabad expounded on certain aspects like the difference between creativity and research. Also, he stressed on the significance of being impartial while drafting a research work. On 14th, Professor Tirupati Rao spoke on the different theoretical and critical approaches of reading literature and how the meaning of text often changes with the context by sometimes even obliterating the author. On 16th December, that is, the 8th session was led by Professor Rajni Singh of IIT Dhanbad. She deliberated on the concept of interdisciplinarity and its requirement in the research work of the contemporary era. The last session was held on 19th December when Professor Dilip Barat discussed about the different tools and software available to aid research work. He started by stressing on the importance of possessing a unique researcher ID. In this regard, he talked about the vivid platforms available for the creation of a researcher's profile. He also guided on how these platforms can be accessed. The directions provided by him made the researchers realize that these tools not only serve as better search engines for research articles, but also prepares graphs on the quality of their research work. And today is the last session by Professor R. Sevukan, sir, Department of Library and Information Science, Pondicherry University. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Over to Mohanacharya, sir.
Thank you, Stacey. Thank you for your report submission. Now, I request Dr. Shah Al Mamun Sarkar, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Other Indian and Foreign Languages of this university, and also the co-organizer of this 10-day workshop, who is a technical expert behind the workshop, who is working on this. Now, I request Dr. Shah Sarkar, sir, to be the moderator of this today's workshop, and also submit a brief profile of the today's resource person, Dr. Sevukan, sir, Professor, Pondicherry Central University. Over to Dr. Sarkar, sir.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity of introducing our honorable speaker, Dr. R. Sevukan. Dr. Sevukan is a professor in the Department of Library and Information Science at Pondicherry University. He has been working as professor since 2017. Before that, he was, he joined Pondicherry University as a reader in the year 2009. Before joining Pondicherry University, he worked for Indira Gandhi Open University. During this tenure of 6 years, he completed his PhD And he also worked in several other colleges as assistant librarian or librarian. As a degree, he has a PhD, MPhil, MA, and BA, all in library science. All have been completed from Annamalai University. Apart from this degree, he also has BCom, MCom, and PG, DDE. So basically, his areas of expertise include library automation, networking, digitization, research methods, scientometrics, and many others. Under his guidance, 15 MPhil dissertations and 4 PhD theses have been awarded, 2 more theses have been submitted, and 8 research scholars are enrolled at present. He has published 50 articles in various journals, 30 papers in top-notch conference proceedings, edited 3 volumes, and authored 2 books. As per the data from the Google Scholar, he has been cited for more than 357 times with H index 9 and I-10 index 6. He is also editor-in-chief of Salish Journal of Library and Information Science, which is an international journal. Apart from this, Sir has been members of several academic bodies and societies, including the life member of Indian Association of Special Libraries and Information Centers, Society for the Advancement of Library and Information Sciences, and Commission for Scientific and Technological Terminology, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of HRD. So today, Sir will deliberate on research and publication ethics. Now, I can feel that the participants are eager to listen to you, sir. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the mic to you, sir. Please initiate the lecture, sir. Over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Is my screen visible, sir, to you all?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is
sir.
visible, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. Is it full screen now?
Not yet, sir.
At the
I think it's
now
coming.
it's full screen, sir.
It's
Yeah,
full screen.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for the nice introduction, and I'm very fortunate and unfortunate also to be the last speaker of this 10-day program. I'm really thankful to all the organizers and also the university authorities, especially Dr. Kiran, who has actually requested me to be part of this forum. I'm very happy and delighted to be part of this. And also I welcome each one of you connected. And as has been said, that I have to speak on research and publication ethics, which is very close to my heart. Hope I am audible. Is it okay, sir? Should I increase the volume?
Yeah, it's okay, sir. Volume is also okay.
Great. Yeah. So in the over, I'm also very happy that, for the last 9.5 days, 9 days, many things have happened, and you people have learned a lot. I could understand from the report presented by one of the participants, research scholars. And what I'm going to discuss here is, going to be a bit different, as it is not going to be lecture. It is only sharing of my experience as an editor of a journal, teacher of library science. I have guided good number of PhDs, and also I have adjudicated more than 250 PhD theses in our subject across the country from various universities. So based on that, I could find, a lot of, inconsistencies, we can say, or some common errors that we find in scholarly writing. So when we are able to correct ourselves with errors, what we knowingly or unknowingly commit in scholarly writing, automatically this research and publication ethics as an aspect or perspective, can be taken care of. So before moving on to my presentation, let me present a brief, vital statistics about the research scenario in our country. Okay, that we have to understand. All of us are, academicians, and also I'm happy that many scholars are here, and a few faculties also are attending, which is more than 60 now, right? So now, based on my analysis, as I have already told you that it is very close to my heart, I do a lot of research on research publications. Okay. So when I analyzed, that triggered to my mind that I just wanted to prepare a vital statistics to know about the scenario of research in our country, whether we are going at the right direction as far as the research is concerned. Okay. So first, I got to know that the number of academic institutions, it's a tickling fact that in world ranking, India is at the top position, having more than 5,000 academic institutions which are performing better in terms of research productivity. Okay, and here when we compare this number of institutions with other leading countries like USA and China and all, ours is almost double. We have got more than double in terms of number of institutions what we have, which are performing better in terms of research. So this is on the one hand, and it is not only that we have a good number of institutions, academic institutions. We also spend a lot of money on R&D activities. So this is, again, according to UNESCO, we spend about 0.7% of the total GDP. Total GDP is spent on R&D activities. And when it is, when you say 0.7% total GDP, it's not a small amount, huge. Okay, huge amount. It is lakhs of crores. Lakhs of crores are spent on this R&D activities. Okay. And also when it comes to exclusively for the universities, it is almost close to $3,000 million, are spent on R&D activities. And it is not only that we have good number of institutions and, spending a lot of money on R&D activities. We also justify that we have produced a good number of publications and also PhDs in science and engineering alone. If you just look at this particular, box, we are at the third position according to NSF, National Science Foundation, in terms of number of publications and also PhDs awarded in science and engineering alone. Okay, it sounds quite good. So we have to feel proud that we are at number one in the whole world as far as the number of institutions are concerned, and also we spend a lot of money and we are able to produce by producing more number of publications and the PhDs. We are at the third position. Okay, so this is on the one hand as far as the number of publications, number of institutions, and also amount spent on R&D activities. So here my part comes into picture regarding this impact. So we have to understand, we have been learning this research as a component in every stage, be it PG dissertation or MPhil dissertation or PhD thesis or any research publications. We are teaching, learning this as a component. But we have to clearly understand any research that we do. Okay, you may say that as introduced by professor, I may have 50 papers to my credit. So 50 papers are mine, but I cannot claim that the thought content of all 50 papers are not for me. So that clear understanding has to be there. So when we have the clear understanding of how many papers we have to our credit and how many people have used my content. So that is the thing what we have to understand in a layman perspective. So here I analyzed productivity, we have prospered. Okay, we are at the third position. But what about impact? So anything that we do is not for me, it is for the target audience. If you say all my research publications are for my earliest fraternity, like in science people. So how many people have used my research and how many people have been influenced by my research? So that is measured in terms of impact. So now we have to clearly understand here that I have just, compared the research productivity of India with relative impact. Okay, so here, this is the data according to Scopus. We are at the seventh position, having more than 21 lakhs of articles indexed in Scopus. Okay, Scopus. This is also quite good. Okay, excellent coverage. And this number of articles indexed in Scopus, whether it has influenced the target community irrespective of the discipline or not, that we have to cross-check. So the cross-checking can be only done based on the measurement of H index. Okay, now you look at the H index of India. It is, for me, it is not that visible, my screen. It is, almost, 691, close to 700. So according to me, it is quite low. Okay, quite low for 21 lakhs of number of articles indexed in Scopus. Okay, I say it is quite low. When you compare the productivity and impact of the country, last one, the 15th rank, Netherlands, it was nowhere in the picture in terms of, number of academic institutions in terms of ranking, in the global ranking. It was nowhere in the picture. But just you look at the number of publications indexed in Scopus, it is, only 11 lakhs of articles. So it is almost half of the publications than India. Okay. So when you say 11 lakhs of publications and the index, H index of these 11 lakhs publications comes to almost double than India. Okay. 1133. And look at this average, average citation per document. Look at the value of India, 10.44. And here 30.38. So now you can, clearly visualize or, critically analyze which country is doing better. So as far as my knowledge is concerned, Netherlands is doing the best. Okay, best. Just you see the average citations per document is 30.38. No country which has been placed in the top 14 has got that. Okay. And the H index also is almost a double, 1,200. So now we have to understand, we have good number of institutions. Okay. We spend a lot of money. We also produce, but whether we are producing at the right spirit by conducting true qualitative research or not. So there, the importance of research and publication ethics comes into picture. Okay, that is what we have to understand. Now, whether we are doing ethically correct or not, the research. So that is, according to my assessment, it is not. It is not. Okay. So that is why I came out with the statistics, what we have produced and how much we have influenced, does not match at all. So then it is not only that, assessing the scenario of research for a country, okay, will help us in any way. And I also wanted to find out some reasons. What could be the possible reasons, okay, for higher productivity and low impact. So here, and also one more indicator is that reputation score. Reputation score is also measured based on the research and developmental activities that are happening in an organization, and to what extent it has influenced the society by the scholarly publications made by an organization. Okay, so here also in entire South Asia, except one or two institutions, no institution is there in the top 25. So this is also another alarming fact that we all have to understand where we are as far as the research is concerned. Okay, now coming to the reasons why we are able to produce good number of publications, we have prospered as far as the number is concerned. When it comes to quality, we have miserably failed. Okay, that is the witness based on the low H index according to Scopus, right? So now I identified the reasons. What could be the possible reasons for higher productivity and low impact? I found that shockingly, it was actually contribution to predatory journals by Indian scholars is on the top. Okay, we are at number one in contributing to predatory journals. And publishing predatory journals, we are at number 2 next to Nigeria. Okay, this is the first and foremost reason why we are not able to get good impact, better impact, we can say. Okay, so this is what. And most of the people from science, engineering, technology. I don't know how many people are from science and engineering, attending this workshop. I would say many people criticize that, people, particularly authors from arts, humanities, and social sciences. Social sciences, have contributed more to predatory journals. Because of that, our, number of, publications has inflated, and quality has come down. So this is actually the statement made by the science and technology people, including engineering. Okay, this is on the one hand. I also agree with them. So mostly by the people from arts, humanities, and social sciences, they depend on the predatory journals. Predatory journals, we can say. This is on the one hand. I'll come to the next point. I also wanted to critically analyze, is it the only because of the people coming from social sciences or sciences also? Then, it came to my mind, based on these statistics, many people know about this retraction. If predatory journals, are used by the social science authors, retraction happens, 99.99% of the retractions happen in science, engineering, and technology. Okay, here, just you see the statistics. So here also we are not inferior. We are at the 4th place, reporting 7.5% of the every 10,000 papers retracted. So retraction, since you are all scholars, you have to understand retraction means this in science disciplines, the research is, being carried out in the laboratory where you have, that confined environment with all sophisticated equipment, experts, tools, devices, techniques, everything you have. And the team of experts would be involved in research. So when they conduct research, they also extract results, data. And data are, analyzed. After analyzing, they just, report. So the report is, their findings are reported in a reputed journal. So with the time, what happens, either author will have to withdraw the paper from the journal, or editor will, remove that paper based on some reasons. Okay. The reasons? The reasons are simply manipulation of data, equipment, method, and also, results. So there are, possibilities for that. Once it is proved, the paper will be either removed by the editor, or author will have to withdraw that paper. So that is what happens. Now here we have to understand clearly, anything that is published is mine, but not for me. So we have to clearly understand about that. Okay, that is why once the article is published, anything that we publish is for the future researchers. So when the future researchers experiment that, the particular article, when they find that it is suitable or most relevant to their research, so they will start experimenting in the laboratory with a little sample to test, the methods, whether it is feasible or not. Then they will find that, whatever the results that they are getting based on the methodology presented in that published paper would not be matching. So automatically it is found that, it is manipulated. So that also happens. There also we are, at the 4th position, having 7.5%. Now we have to clearly understand whether we are doing research, whether it is in arts, humanities, social sciences, sciences, engineering, technology. There is no, exception. Okay, exception. Everybody is indulged in this type of unethical practices of research. Okay, this is the evidence what I wanted to give you. Now, this is the scenario. This is the scenario of the entire country in terms of research productivity and also the impact. So now, most of us always, are worried about, concerned about the ranking of institutions. And most of the people who are sitting in the supreme positions like directors, vice chancellors, registrar, and all, whenever they come for some inaugural or valedictory, they would always say that, we are doing research, we do a lot of work, but we are not able to get the proper position in the global ranking, particularly, in the top 200. Any organization, including the premier institutions like IITs and IIMs and all. So the reasons, nobody has analyzed. So that was the thing, that prompted me to make this analysis. And also I found the reasons why this scenario prevails. Okay, for this, I have just identified some strategies based, again, as I said before, it is not a lecture based on the published documents. It is only sharing of my experience based on my experience, whatever I have done. Okay, so this is the one. The strategies, what I found was 10 reasons I have identified. So we can even call it mechanics of scholarly writing, which can be, used as a checklist, to follow ethics, to avoid unethical practices. Okay, this is what I have identified. The first and foremost is stage of paper writing by the budding researchers, be it research scholars or the faculties who are just starting their career. Okay. The second one is problem statement and literature review. So wherever any scholarly publication is subject to peer review, okay, that is not final. Okay, whatever we do is not final. It has to be peer reviewed by the peer experts. So that they will look at first, topic, then right away they will go to problem statement, then literature review, how effectively we have presented. So here also, irrespective of the discipline in India, we have also failed. I don't know the reasons, whether it is due to lack of knowledge or ignorance, I don't know, but I will show you some concrete examples, how people have written, whether it is correct or not. Then content writing tools. There are some online tools which can be used for writing, preparing scholarly publications. Okay, we are always confused with the structural components of different scholarly publications, like a journal article or conference paper or chapter for edited volume. Like that, we have a good number of scholarly publications, but we are not we are confused with the structural components. But this is a ready-made tool that would help us to have a ready-made template. Similarly, content editing is also, we have good number of free tools available for us to improve the content, to make it error-free document. And improper citation, I say citation has to be properly cited, but I consciously use the terminology improper citation. With the examples I will show you, and also I'll tell you how to cite properly, because these people say that plagiarism is a consequence, but I would say, as a library science professor, citation, quotation, these two are the solutions to any kind of problem related to plagiarism. Okay, I will tell you how it has to be. When you improperly use it, that it cannot be considered as a citation, that will lead to again plagiarism related consequences. I'll tell you exactly how it has to be done. Then predatory journals and publishers. So this is also a very important thing for the research scholars to understand. There are a good number of predatory journals and publishers. I'll tell you the source from where we have to identify. And the plagiarism check, we always have to depend on the commercial tools like Turnitin, for us authenticate, then this one Urkunt, and now also Drillbit is coming up. Okay, we have to depend on that, but we have we cannot say equivalent, but we have good number of reliable tools available online for free to check the similarity percentage, since we reproduce a lot of contents from online sources. Now, we also have to understand, mostly research scholars are more attracted by, the impact factor value that is printed on predatory journals, and also H index of the authors or the editors, that is, this is again, a tool, a strategy, which is, used by the publishers. So there are some companies which are supplying, fake impact factor and H index to the authors and the journals. So I would tell you about all that, and also how to calculate impact factor and how to calculate H index, and also how to measure article level metrics. If time permits, I will tell about that also. And here, one more thing, last but not the least, we have to understand any research that is done, to influence the society, we have to clearly understand. Okay, so we are all teachers, teaching fraternity. Primarily, we have to teach, but we are indirectly forced to do some research. What for it is? We are all paid by the taxpayers' money, and indirectly we have to do some research which can also contribute to the society. Okay, that is the reason why the teachers are asked to conduct research. Okay, that is what. And here, any research that is done has to be made visible to the target audience. Unless it is made visible, you will not get, your publications will not be used by anybody. Unless they make use of it, you will not get any citation. When there is no citation, no impact at all. Here, when it comes to the coverage of journals, we have two premier databases. One is Scopus and Web of Science. So coverage is, wider in case of science, engineering and technology disciplines. When it comes to the other end, like arts, humanities, social sciences, coverage is very, very limited, restricted. So if you have to publish your article in one of the journals covered in these two databases, you have to wait for 6 months minimum. If you have written, outstandingly well, okay. And then 6 months to almost, it takes at times 2 years also, okay, for getting one article published in this indexed journal. So, but here again, we have good number of reliable tools where we can make all our publications visible to the target audience, through which our impact can be, enhanced. So this is, the plan of my presentation for about, 1 hour from now. Okay, so this is what. Now let me move on to the strategies, 10 different strategies, how we have to follow this, okay. The ethics part is taken care of automatically when we follow all these strategies, 10 strategies, okay. Strategy 1 is, this writing paper. When are we supposed to start writing a paper, okay. So doing a research, it is a process. Everybody knows about it, okay. I don't have to tell you about that. But here, for any research, we need to have a proposal. When you say proposal, it is purely tentative, which can be modified at any point of time before you submit your synopsis, okay. Okay, before this is submission. So we need to have a proposal. Proposal is purely tentative. So when you say tentative, that has to be completely refined for refining your understanding of the topic, and also to revise your proposal methods and techniques, everything completely for your thorough understanding. We need to study the bibliography. We say in simple words, literature review. So once you do that literature review, if it is adequately done, it is okay. If not, again you have to start from the research proposal, okay. Then you revise it to enhance your understanding of the conceptual clarity of your topic. So if it is done, fine. If not, you have to conduct pilot study to test your tools and methods what you have devised. So if it is done, fine. If not, again you have to start from the research proposal, okay. Proposal is being modified repeatedly based on your, whenever there is a change in the knowledge that you gain to modify your understanding, it keeps on changing, okay. Then after making a lot of so many corrections and changes, finally again we cannot say it is final, because any scholarly publication is subject to peer review. In this case, okay, in this case, the proposal drafted by the scholar in consultation with the supervisor has to be presented before the doctoral committee, okay, doctoral committee. So when it is presented before the doctoral committee, if the proposal is complete in every respect, the doctoral committee members will compliment and appreciate. If not, they will actually suggest for improvement. So when the suggestions are made by the experts who are in the committee or the panel, then suggestions have to be incorporated. While incorporating the suggestions made by the experts, your proposal gets again revised. So once it is revised, that becomes final. So this is the place, this is the stage where a scholar gets thorough understanding about the topic, methods, techniques, and also tentative outcomes and how it is going to be carried out. So here we have to clearly understand it is worth spending at least 6 months for drafting your proposal for all the scholars. In my case, I never allow any of my scholars to proceed further unless they understand thoroughly about their topic and what they are going to do, okay. So this is the stage where the particular scholar gets gains confidence and competence on a particular topic of research. And many guides who are guiding the scholars also misguide at times, okay. At times, I'm not generalizing. Many guides, how they misguide. The moment they join, they will ask, they will just give you a target. So you are joining today, maybe you will be leaving the department at the end of 3rd year or 4th year or even 5th year. By the time you leave the department, you have to have 20 papers to your credit, okay. So that would be the target. What they do, they start writing paper from, I cannot say writing, they start imitating papers from day one, okay, day one. So if you have to ask a scholar to write a paper, they have to spend at least 6 months to understand about your topic, okay, for writing a paper or for conducting a research. And if you just ask them, if you misguide them to start from beginning, it is not possible. They can simply imitate the paper, they can't write. So by imitating, they will also submit a paper to the guide after preparation. Guides may not find time. They will say, oh, it has come out so well. Go ahead and, guides will know about the reputed journals with the high impact factor. They will suggest the journals where the scholar has to submit. So when they submit, within no time, it will bounce back because with only one statement. Most of the sentences have been copied from internet. So I must reject your paper. So that is the comment what we get with the rejection. So like that, they will attempt with the 2-3 journals. So finally, what happens, they can't publish their article in any, good, decent journal. So then what happens? Then a guide also will say, you have put in a lot of efforts to prepare this paper. Try to get it published somewhere. Then finally, they end up with a predatory journal which can publish for 500 rupees within 24 hours. So that is how the number has increased. Okay, number has increased. So that is, we have to clearly understand. So this is the first and foremost reason why we have good number of papers, but not the higher productivity, higher impact. Okay, high impact. So the right stage is, after revising the proposal, we have to ask them to write a paper initially for a conference. So once they are able to, present a paper with the conceptual clarity to the audience, so they will be able to even be identified as one of the experts in the field in which they are conducting research. So they also may be invited, for talks, because by looking at the competence and the confidence level a particular scholar has. Okay, so the audience will be most impressed, and they will also refer that person to invite for events in the near future. So here, the reason for giving, do you emphasize to revise the proposal again and again is that, we have to clearly understand, once the proposal is perfect in every respect, it is equivalent to 50% of the research done. The remaining 50% is only execution, like, conducting survey, then quantifying, analyzing, reporting, then publications. There ends the matter. But, here we have to clearly understand that, spending 6 months time is not, wastage of time. So you have to spend enough time for understanding. Unless you are able to understand, you should never proceed with, writing papers with anything. So this is the first and foremost reason that I've identified why we have got more number of papers, number one. Secondly, and people also have, a lot of misconception, misunderstanding about the problem statement and the literature review, how we have to do that. Okay. Here, in most of the thesis I have seen, even, thesis, what they do is either in chapter 1 or in chapter 4, under that, section heading, problem statement or statement of the problem. Under that, the topic of the current study entitled, within double quotes, they will repeat the topic, what is printed on the cover. Okay. So it is only misunderstanding. I have seen, as I said, I have adjudicated more than 250 PhD theses. Out of that, I could get, see the proper problem statement and proper literature review only in 10% of the thesis. Okay, 10% of the thesis. Okay. So I don't know whether it is due to the guides' misguidance or scholars' misunderstanding. But, people think that problem statement is nothing but the topic of research. It's wrong. Problem is nothing but the topic of research. Statement is nothing but the description about the problem. Okay. That I will tell you with an example. Simple example. Going to the movies, a real problem. Okay, this is the topic of research. According to APA, we need to provide to conduct any research. Okay, to conduct any research with a topic, we need to provide 3 supporting evidences minimum, according to APA, to justify a topic of research. So in this particular topic, inconvenience of going out, tempting and expensive snacks, behavior of other moviegoers. Okay, these 3 are the issues identified. How these issues are identified? You have a topic tentatively, then the tentative topic has to be further refined. For refining, you have to conduct a literature review. While conducting literature review, you are able to identify the gaps, okay, as supporting evidences. These are the research gaps, okay, you have identified. So all these three are unique, okay, unique, related, but not same, okay, without overlapping, there are three. So three minimum evidences. So now how you have to write a problem, problem statement. So while writing problem statement, we should be able to connect the topic with the supporting evidences, because I have been, repeatedly telling you that anything that we do is for the target audience. So we have to make it, as simple as possible for the target audience, which can be used, by many people in future. So here, when we talk about the quality, we have to think about the usability of a particular document. Okay, then only we will be able to get proper impact. So here, for writing the statement, you have to combine these two, topic and the supporting evidences, like the hazards of going out, the expensive snacks, second reason, and the behavior of other moviegoers, third reason, are some of the problems of going to the movies. Okay, so this is, it's crystal clear. So anybody in future, when she or he reads this statement, it would clearly tell them that, what this particular work contains. Okay, this is how we have to write the problem statement. The next is, mostly maybe in the literature, you may use chronological arrangement of, literature review. I say these are all problems, like, chronological arrangement, use of outdated sources, inadequate paraphrase, reproduction of early works, summarizing without inferences. So these, these things I have observed in the Indian, scholarly publications. So here, I am not in favor of the chronological arrangement. I don't know about the other disciplines, at least, in science, engineering, technology, in some of the social science disciplines, So we always, recommend to adopt either topical or thematic review. Okay, so here what we do is we may collect information, articles from diversified sources. Okay, sources, maybe we have got about 250 articles, but all out of 250 you have found around 200 most relevant, and all 200 are going to be presented in your thesis. So all 200 thesis articles, you have extracted summary, and the summaries are presented in the chronological order. What happens while using chronological order? Themes will be scattered, idea will be scattered. So when we write present literature review, we have to give due emphasis to only the idea, but not the works or authors. So that is why we need to always focus on the thematic presentation of literature review. That is what. So now I will tell you, for example, in the library, if the library is acquiring 100 new books, okay, 100 new books. Whenever they receive new books in the library, they will assign serial numbers as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But 100 books procured by the library newly are not from the same subject. 5 in English, 3 in chemistry, another 3 in psychology, and 5 in physics, like, from different subjects. They have got 100 books. Okay. If they arrange all those books, 100 books according to that serial number as 1, 2, 3, what will happen? The subjects will be completely scattered. A user who is coming to the library to know about a particular document, maybe in English, functional English, one document written by some author, or maybe X. Okay. So they will have he or she will have to, go through all 100 books, okay, to know about one document. Instead of that, there is another approach in the library. So all these 100 books would be converted into ordinal numbers called class number. If there is a book on functional English written by any author, published by any publisher, and published in any year, okay, any edition, but that functional English will have the common number, single number for all common English, okay, common functional English. So what happens? All those documents, books on functional English would be having the same number, and it would be accumulated automatically while arranging all those documents according to class number. Okay, so now you can understand, when a user comes to the library, knowing about only one document will be able to will get an opportunity to look more documents than what he or she knew, okay, before. Reason is all subjects are accumulated at one place based on the classified approach. The same way, like use of e-resources by the research scholars of maybe Vigyan University, okay, that may be the topic of research. So when you say e-resources, it is a broader term. Under e-resources, you may have e-books, e-journals, e-magazines and all. Okay. So if you collect articles in general under e-resources and present all of them in chronological order, in future, when a person, future researcher, if he or she wants to know about only the works cited in this particular work, in the thesis, on e-books alone. So what will they do? They will have to go through the entire chapter on literature review to identify what are all the studies, reviewed in this particular thesis on e-books alone. So one is time consuming, that creates complex environment for the end user. Nobody will touch that. So instead of that, if you just identify the documents, reporting the findings about e-books alone and bring at one theme, okay, e-books, e-journals, e-magazines, there you present, you arrange in whichever way you want, it doesn't matter much. But thematically, you have to identify the work and it has to be brought at one place. So that becomes a recapitulated information for the end users, which will be very user-friendly, very convenient for the end users, those, which can be used. So here the usability is increased by providing thematic review for the end users. Now let me tell you how to present thematic review. So this is the example one, right? Simply, if you just look at teaching calculus using different methods, that's the only idea. I have already told you that only idea has to be focused and it has to be borrowed from other sources. So that idea of teaching calculus using different methods are reported by many experts at different times in different sources, have been collected by the researcher and, understood, read, understood, assimilated, and finally they have come out with this, paraphrased, information, ideas, it has been presented properly, okay, by the researcher. That is why, and what we find in Indian context, para-wise, for giving importance to all authors, it is merely summary, but not a review. So review, here we have, this is the work, what we have to see. So the entire process of identifying the relevance, then identifying the ideas to be reproduced, okay, by the researcher, then how it has to be presented. It's all, collectively called meta-analysis in the literature review and while presenting conceptual background. So this is, how we have to present, because every word has to be cited, okay, if it is established terminology, proposed by some author. So every word has to be cited. Don't think that, we have to restrict to only a few numbers. There is no hard and fast rule. But when you add more and more references in text citations, the value and weightage are added to a particular scholarly work. So that is why you have to always think about, not avoiding even a simple work, okay, single work, and you have to consider every work. Okay, so that is how you have to present. So this is one. And secondly, this is from my own paper. Hardly 2 sentences. Okay, 2 sentences. Use of ICT in museums and what is the perception of the visitors in different countries. Only 2 statements. 2 statements borrowed from more than 7 studies. So it has been borrowed from different sources and it is placed here. So this is how we have to present literature review thematically. Okay. Now, instead of this, if you adopt chronological arrangement, what will happen? There are more than 7 references here. Okay, 7 works. So here you have to prepare 7 such similar paragraphs, and you have to always give importance to the author. Sheldon says, Albert and Timmy reported, like that. You have to do. Okay, so this will create complex environment for the end users. Okay, this is how we have to do that effectively. Then third one is content writing. As I said, there are tools. Most of us are confused with the structural components of scholarly works. So here we have a tool called Scrivener. It is not free. It is available for only $40, which is, affordable. So here what I did was, when you click on this particular icon, okay, this one, and this will show all, scholarly publications like journal article, conference paper, okay, a technical report, or research report, a thesis, a dissertation, all that will appear. So here I selected, research proposal, I just clicked on. The moment you click on, by single click, you will get this template automatically, starting from cover to references, including budget. So you can feed the details, relevant information under each facet. Okay, so this is a very user-friendly tool which can help us to, prepare our manuscript for, any scholarly publications. Similarly, LaTeX is also another tool which is absolutely free. But one problem here is that we need to understand a little bit of, query language to extract a report from this LaTeX. Okay. And a ref and write is also, another similar tool like Scrivener, available for $38 for the same purpose. Then typeset, most of us, this is very, very useful tool for the researchers. Most of us spend our time in DTP centers for, composing, getting first draft, second draft, then final draft. Money is involved, time, and also energy. So to save that, this is absolutely free, only for one page we have to set up. Okay, we have to configure that. Like for example, if you are, heading is Times New Roman, bold, and 14 font size. Then body of the text has to be 12, again Times New Roman, 1.5 lines. Okay, like that. When you just set for one page, for the remaining pages, maybe millions or lakhs of pages, it will follow uniformly. So this saves a lot of our time, and accuracy can be achieved. Okay, so if you do it manually, it is going to be a big issue. So this is, a user-friendly tool which can be used. Then content editing. Most of the people, say that we are living in the copy-paste world. But I am, a bit against that statement. Any information that is available on some mic is on, sir, and please, the organizers can control that. Somebody's mic is on. Okay. So the content editing, any information that is available on the internet is for use, but that has to be ethically used. So when you are using it, when you paraphrase it, when you just feel like, reading your document, you may feel that, most of the sentences have been, reproduced. So let me paraphrase it. While paraphrasing, there are chances for errors. And to make your document error-free, we have, good number of tools like, after the deadline, it is absolutely free. So you can just check your manuscript with that to, make it, error-free document. This is my own writing paragraph. I just copied here. It has, found some errors here underlined. So when you click on check writing, it will come out with the errors what I have committed along with the solution. Okay, this is what. So when you say next is Grammarly. Grammarly is actually the commercial, but for authors, it has got 3 different versions like free, premium, and business. So here, the free version has got, the features of grammar and punctuation errors. This is more than enough for an author, okay, like us. So we are not going to do anything because the other 2 versions are meant for only the publishers. Publishers, where they do a lot of, sophisticated work. But this one, grammar and punctuation errors are more than enough for us. So it is almost free for authors. So then this is the one, when I just tested my own writing, it is coming out with, errors. So when I click on check writing, it says, I'm entitled for claiming. I have used the preposition for, but again, it says for is wrong. Instead of that, you can use to. So by, like that, in a lengthy document, you may have many errors. So once you check manually, by having cursory look, you can simply, by a single click, you can, incorporate, accept all the changes, it will be done. So this is how we have to do. Then improper citation. I say improper citation. This is, totally wrong. So I say improper citation with the examples. I'll tell you. Okay, example 1. So this example, it is not my own example, my dear friends. This was extracted from Sevukan. Sevukan, very well. It's a repository representing the whole country for ETD. Okay, electronic thesis and dissertations. So when it goes. When this thesis is deposited in the repository, we have to understand. The thesis is prepared by the scholar in consultation with the supervisor. Okay. Then recommended by the doctoral committee, forwarded by the head of the department, dean, and also finally it is evaluated by two or three examiners, and one of the examiners will be invited for conducting viva to cross-verify whether the scholar has actually carried out the work or not. So once it is successfully done, the degree is considered for the award of PhD in a particular subject. So once it is accepted for the award of PhD, then that thesis would be sent to the library for depositing in the repository. Okay, this is the process of depositing a thesis into Sevukan repository. Okay, that is what. Now I will come out with, this is actually from Sevukan. You can just imagine to what extent we have flourished in terms of quality research. First of this is from the literature review chapter. First of all, this is not review, it is only summary. And again, it is arranged in chronological order. Okay, so completely concepts are scattered and it is arranged in chronological order, and also it is not properly recorded. Okay, with a lot of errors, documentation errors. So here you see author 1 and author 2 within bracket year of publication. Next one is author name followed by initials within bracket year of publication. And in another page of the same document, look at this one, author name followed by initials without bracket, here with in bracket, here without bracket, 6 names and within bracket year of publication. Last one is author name followed by initials without bracket and initial followed by author name within bracket year of publication. Okay, it is totally wrong. Yeah, a school going student, class 5 or 6 can easily understand there is an inconsistency in this particular document. Okay, this is one. And example 2, it's not legible. I'll tell you what is the problem with that. Author name within bracket year of publication in between superscript number 39. Okay, 39. So this is also wrong. And another one is author name, initials, then year of publication in between number 40. So this is also wrong. Third one is very interesting example. Author name, first author and other 9 authors within bracket year of publication, number 9, above all footnote. Okay. Can you, because we are all scholars, we are all faculties, we are guiding students. Any scholarly publication has to follow a style manual. Okay, be it APA or MLA or Chicago or IEEE, Thurabian, any style manual, right? But are these examples conforming to any of the style manuals in the world? Not. Then what kind of rating do you expect from global agencies? Okay, global agencies, particularly ranking agencies. So this becomes a source for measuring the quality of our publications, representing the whole country. So if you find this is from library science I'm showing you, because my wife is a doctorate in civil engineering. I was trying for her also to help her in literature review and other things. I could see the similar scenario in engineering also, in civil engineering particularly. Okay, so that is what is happening. It is not only in social science, in every subject it is happening due to lack of understanding. Okay, so this is what. So these are all the errors what have happened, but whether knowingly or unknowingly, why it happens, I don't understand, but it is my duty to tell you, to make it very clear that how it has to be properly cited. Okay, now universally there are only two methods in the world for in-text citation. Okay, citation methods are only 2 in the world. Okay, one is enumerated, the other one is author date system. But no style manual can combine any both of these. Okay, any one of these has to be adopted by any style manual in the world. Okay, this clear understanding has to be there in scholars particularly. So here, this is the thesis, portion that I extracted from my own thesis, my own PhD thesis. Okay, this is according to enumerated system. Okay, I borrowed one idea from one source and another idea from 2 different sources. So when I present ideas borrowed from different sources in my own way, this is all paraphrased statements based on my understanding that I borrowed ideas from 3 different sources. So while giving acknowledgement to them, I have to provide in-text citation. So while using enumerated system, so we have to assign serial numbers as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and at the end under cited references, any scholarly document will have its, the cited references at the end. And then when you have that, it has to be elaborated here with the bibliographic details. Okay, while arranging, you also have to, assign, arrange same numbers as 8, 9, 10. Okay. In simple words, we have to understand while using enumerated system, we have to assign serial numbers as 1, 2, 3. And while listing the bibliographic entries at the end under the term references, it has to be according to the numbers that we have supplied in the body of the text as 8, 9, 10. The reason for giving this is that, as I said, this statement, these 3 statements are mine, 2 statements are mine, but this is based on my understanding I have written, but it is not for me, it is for others, for my target audience. So when a future researcher reads this particular statement, if he or she wants more information about this statement, my statement will not help. But this 8 will redirect that particular reader or the user to the cited references where they will be able to identify the same number 8, under which they can find the complete bibliographic details, which will help them to retrieve the full text article. Then they can, read at their own pace and understand to know more about the article. So this is, how we have to provide to make a user-friendly document. Okay, this is what. Okay, this is what. This is on the one hand, according to enumerated system. When it comes to this one, 1 minute, there are 3 people. I will just... Okay. So when it is author date system, name of the author, real name of the author and the year of publication, that's what's called author date system. Okay, same paragraph, but here I adopt author date system. Okay, author date system, right? So here, I am R. Sevukan. R is my initial. Okay, Rathinam. Okay, my father's name. This is my statement. Okay, my statement.
Sir.
Yeah. Yes. Sir, do you have any question?
Sarkar sir.
Yes, sir. Shall I proceed, sir?
Yeah, okay, you can proceed, sir.
Yeah. So this is what is, author date system. So when you say author date, my name has to be, this is my statement. When future researcher acknowledges me, I have to be acknowledged, but not my father. So you have to mention Sevukan, 2023. Okay. Sevukan, 2023. Not like Sevukan R Sevukan Rathinam. Okay. That is not the way to cite, to provide in-text citation. Okay. It is totally wrong. When we use author date system, the entries under cited references have to be in alphabetical order. So simple logic. Okay. So this is the one how we have to do that. Okay. When a reader reads this one, if they look at this GURC, okay, they will, this GURC will redirect the user to the cited references where the user will be searching for the letter G, but not number 8. So in the examples, what I have shown, it is completely wrong. No user will be able to identify any reference from the document. So usability will be 0. So that is why we are not able to flourish as far as the impact is concerned. Okay, this is how we have to understand about the citation methods. 2 methods in the world. And any one of them has to be adopted by any style manual in the world, not both. Okay, this is what we have to understand. Next is citing personal communication. So, sir, am I supposed to close by 8 o'clock? Sir, can any one of you tell me, am I supposed to close by 8 o'clock?
Problem, sir. You can extend, no problem, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, man. So this is the one, personal communication. Okay, people say that we cannot cite the personal communication, which is, received by email letters, telephone conversation, interviews, etc. It can be cited, but only strategy what we have to follow here is that type of information considered as personal communication has to be mentioned only in the body of the text, but not under cited references. Okay. Because it happens between 2 different individuals, personal communication. So anything that is listed under cited references should be locatable in future. So if it is not locatable, they will simply say that it is, false citation. So that is why the strategy here for personal communication is that name of the author or the person within bracket personal communication and date of meeting or date of the information that you obtained. Then what you obtained, can be presented here. So here simply in the body of the text, but not under cited references. This is a simple logic that we have to understand. And second one is most of the scholars, what they do particularly when we read the literature, when we do literature review, there may be a paragraph under literature review, very precisely written, okay, in a crisp manner. And there is no scope for any paraphrasing or modifying also. So I want to adopt as it is. Then what I do, I'll simply copy that paragraph along with the references by ignoring the source from where I'm taking. Okay, that's the wrong practice what many scholars do. Okay, but that is what is called citing secondary source. And don't look at the slide, it will be confusing. I will explain. Okay, author A, paper A, paper B, and paper C. Okay, these three are the papers. A has written a paper that is primary. B has written a paper based on A. Okay, C is writing a paper based on A and B, but C has access to the full text of only B, but not A, right? So in this situation, for C, A is primary, B is secondary. Reason is C has come to know about A from B. So in this context, how we have to do? In the in-text citation, A study within bracket as cited in B, then you have to write the statements, okay, as cited in B. And while giving citation under cited references, we have to give citation to only B, but not A. Reason is, I have not, read or consulted the full text of A. I have come to know about A from B, but for that, I have already acknowledged in the body of the text, okay. Under cited references, what I read, understood, used, has to be, listed under cited references. So this is, what is called citing secondary sources. If you cite instead of this, if you cite A and B, both, it is wrong, okay. A will get one false citation and that values of impact factor or the H index may not be accurate. So we have to be very clear with giving citation to the authors. So this is what. Even nowadays, we have good number of reference management tools. You might have, even learned over the last, 10 days. Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote, and I suggest to make use of Mendeley because it is, really an effective tool for reference management because you can have your own digital library and the thematic clusters, can be easily done with the help of this, your personalized digital library using Mendeley. And also in future, you can also share your references, whatever you have customized for your work with a group, where you are collaborating with the people. That's also possible. So these are the possible tools which can be used for reference management. Then strategy 6, improper quotation, you might have heard about. Also one incident, in 2011, if you just look at, Professor Rao, there was a big news that, Professor C.N.R. Rao is in plagiarism role. So that was the one. Actually, simply, it was actually done by his scholar. It was not actually plagiarized. Only 3 sentences in the introduction, one equation. So it was done by his scholar, but they did not cite it properly. Because of that, it was considered as, plagiarized. And only 3 sentences and 1 equation, but media publicized that entire paper was, plagiarized. But that was not the case. But, the problem was that documentation had some issues. Okay, I will tell you what it is. When you say quotations, there are 2 instances. One is direct quotation. The other one is block quotation. So when you use or reproduce some portions from some other published sources, so you have to copy verbatim as it is word for word without even changing the punctuation. If you even change the punctuation, it is not, quoted, it is actually paraphrased because you have modified that. So as it is, it has to be copied. After copying, you have to count the number of words. If it is less than 40, you have to simply copy that and put the words under double quotes. Double quotes, this is according to APA underscore within bracket, name of the author, real name of the author, year of publication, and one more element is added here, page number, because we are sure about from where we are copying at the end, full stop. Okay, this in Professor Rao's case, they have copied these sentences and also given citation also, but they failed to put the sentences under quotation marks. So this was the issue. So this is how we have to use quotation in case of direct quotation, which is less than 40 words in count. So when it exceeds 40 words, it is called block quotation. Block quotation, friends, you have to understand here, we call it quotation, but you can't find quotation marks. Okay, quotation marks here. So here what it does, the strategy is slightly different from the direct quotation. You have to start with the source, ending with the punctuation colon. Then you have to copy verbatim, okay, word for word, as it is you have to copy. After copying, you have to, tell the software and also the reviewer or the editor that, this is quoted portion. For that, you have to make a specific formatting like, the copied portion has to be, made in double spaced standing line, and one tab or 5 spaces from left. 5 spaces from left. Okay. So at the end, you have to mention the page number from where you are copying. So this is the way how we have to do in case of block quotation. Okay. This is one side, all the style manuals except IEEE. Okay. IEEE suggests to have, 5 spaces from both sides, left and right, both sides. So it will look at the center. Okay. So this is how the strategy of quotation is used. Okay. As I told you already, plagiarism is the problem and these two are the solutions. If you meticulously follow these two, you will be away from the plagiarism related consequences. Okay, that's what. Now study 7 is predatory journals and publishers. Now we have to understand how it emerged, this predatory journals. Okay, we all know that what is predatory and we have to understand how it emerged. Okay, now a person who is working in a Delhi University as a faculty, those days, during the early 21st century, right? And the other person who is working in a rural area, maybe in an affiliated college, okay, as a faculty. So both were faculties. The person who was working in the capital had seamless access to the scholarly publications. And the person who was working in the rural area had not even seen the journal issues. But when it comes to the assessment or recruitment, expectation was same from both. So the person who was passionate to do research working in rural area could not get, adequate access to the scholarly publications. And on the other side, he was able to have access to a good number of publications. He was able to even produce also. But the other person, without having any reference material, they had to produce. So to eliminate this barrier, like-minded people and many publishers, particularly from the developed countries, they came forward to make scholarly publications partially accessible to the serious researchers, okay, for reference, by implementing, okay, by adopting author pay model. So authors will pay and articles will be published. So it is only for the maintenance. Okay, it was charged by the publishers. But one person that Jeffrey Bell, who was academic librarian from USA and also editor of a very popular journal, he was dead against this movement. Okay, open access movement. What he did was, he, as an editor, he set some criteria. And he started, observing, monitoring the open access publishers, how they do. Okay, if they just deviate from the editorial process according to our set criteria, then he found that as a potentially predatory journal. Okay, So he found that, in the year 2011, about 18 publishers, one publisher can have more than 100 journals. When it is 18, it's huge. Okay. And that 18 rose to 923 by the end of 2016. And also he found some standalone journals starting with 126 journals in the year 2013. Again, it rose to 882 by the end of 2016. Okay, huge. And by the end of 2015, the profit for the open access publishers was about $75 million. $75 million. Okay, so that is how publishers are misusing the concept of open access policy and movement. Okay, this is what. But now you may wonder why we are in 2023, it is going to be over, but I'm showing still the old data with the 2016. Reason, this particular, the repository scholarlyway.com was, developed by Jeffrey Bell, to serve as a tool for the genuine authors to know about the genuineness of a journal. If any journal is indexed in this scholarlyway.com, that is, considered to be potentially predatory. Okay, predatory. So this particular repository was hacked in the year, January 2017. Till then, this was serving as a tool for the researchers, but Bell did not stop his activity. He continued to identify some more journals. Then what he did was he developed a proxy site where he indexed, archived all journals, identified journals and publishers, and the newly identified journals were not made visible to the end users. But if you want to know, you have to reveal your name, email, and just what you want to know. And within no time, you will get the reply. Still, this is serving as a tool from backend, but for the newly identified journals. But this is serving as a tool, with the archives. Archives, if you want to know about the genuineness of a journal, if anything is indexed in this, it is predatory. Okay, this is what. Now, that journal selection, we talk about maximizing research productivity for better visibility and a greater impact. Okay, greater impact. So the journal selection, in the publication process, this is the crucial stage. I was in IGCOR 2 weeks ago for a conference. One eminent scientist working in, this IGCOR Kalpakam, this Atomic Research Center, his H index is 62. Believe it or not, H index is 62 with the 410 publications. What he came out. Never look at the impact factor of a journal. Look at the journal where you find your audience. A decent journal where you find your audience. So your readers will read your article, and definitely you will be cited. Your impact also will go up. So very good point. Precisely he just presented. I was so much impressed because I am for that. So even Indian authors also you may find, one may proudly say that I have an article in Nature, which is the top journal with the highest impact factor in the world. But if you look at the citation of that particular article, it will be a big zero. A reason is journal is reputed, but the readers who are using that journal do not want the content what I have published. Okay, that is what. And also there are good number of studies that the average number of citations has gone low because of the articles published by authors from developing countries like India. Okay, I may have an article in Nature, but no citation. But other people who have published may have got more than 100,000, 2,000 citations. So this our no citation articles are eating away the citations of the repeated articles. Okay, most cited articles. So here criticizing will not help us in any way, but there are we may not also have comprehensive list of journals, be it a guide or the scholar, but there are good number of journal selection tools reliable tools which can help us to identify the right journal for our manuscript, okay, with the most relevance. So here there are some tools like Springer. Springer is actually a commercial publisher, but on request by anybody from any organization, they will come forward to conduct free author workshop to sensitize authors on how to write scientific article and how to get it published in a right journal to reach the right audience. Okay, that is what. So again, simply I'll tell you how it is done. we have to simply copy our title of the paper. Then abstract of the paper, only these two, not the full text. Okay, comprehensive abstract has to be copied. So then this tool, what it will do, it will harvest the list of journals from different reliable sources, and it will produce as an output with the list of journals along with the impact factor. So once it is produced for your query, then you can customize or you can prioritize from the list produced by this tool. Then accordingly, you can modify your content based on the guidelines of a particular journal. Okay, this is how we have to do, right? So Springer Advance is another tool, absolutely free. What they do is, it is free not only for journal selection, and they render many more services like English editing, review editing, expert scientific review, reviewer recommendation, cover letter development, abstract development. Okay, many more activities, okay, are done by this Advance for free for the authors. So only one thing, once you cross your limited submissions limit, it will ask you to pay little money. But again, it is all IP based. When it is asking you to pay little money, you have to change the system. Okay, automatically, maybe 5 or 6 times you will have to change in life. Okay, so this is almost free. Similarly, Journal Guide is another such tool which searches, compares, and also it follows whether you have submitted your article to any of the journals suggested by this particular tool. Elsevier, again, it is commercial. They conduct free workshop. So this is the one what I said, like, paper title, paper abstract in any subject, any domain, be it agriculture, economics, science, social sciences, humanities, anything. Okay, anything is possible. And the cofactor is also under such tool. Now, failing to check similarity. So since we are dealing with, most of the online documents available on the internet, we, intend to get tempted to reproduce. While reproducing, when finally you, go through that, you may find most of the sentences, look similar. So when you see that it is similar, you also, while submitting, you have to clearly understand how much I have just copied from other sources. So here for checking, as I said already, we have to depend on commercial ones, but here there are some tools which are available for free, like Viper, Duplicate Checker, Plagiarism Checker, and Copy Tracker. You may feel that to what extent all these tools are reliable. Okay, but all are reliable. It's all tested tools. Whatever I'm showing here, it's all tested by me myself. Okay, so you can simply make use of these tools for knowing about the similarity percentage. Then strategy 9 is fake impact factor and H index. So this is what I have been telling you, that there are a good number of companies like Spark Indexing, Root Society for Indexing and Impact Factor Services, like that. This what is that? IRA. This IRA, this one, International Advisory Research and Industry. This is very popular. GSI, Global Institute for Scientific Information. This is very popular. You will find in every predatory journal, open access journal, that gives the value printed on the volumes, issues, or in the website it is mentioned, right? So now we have to be only familiarized with these agencies and what they do. Only for money. Okay, they give for money. Okay, if you give 2,000 rupees, they will give 2.038. Accurately they will give, but without having any basic information. If you give 5,000 rupees, again they will give 5. So, but it's all totally wrong. Mostly research scholars and the budding researchers are cheated by this strategy. This has to be properly understood by the researchers. Now, what is actually impact factor? We have to understand. Okay, understand impact factor is meant for only journals, not for others. Okay, it was actually proposed by Garfield, who is the founder of this ISI, where we are enjoying today, all Science Citation Index. Okay, Web of Science. So now, how to calculate? It is a simple formula. Number of citations received in the last 2 years and divided by number of articles appeared in the last 2 years, okay, in a particular journal. So this is how it is measured, okay. So now we have to understand, because in the fake impact factor companies, for the first volume, first issue, you will get impact factor 2. Okay, that is totally wrong. But we have to clearly understand. We have to wait for literally 3 years. 3 years to know about the impact factor of a journal, if it is a new journal. Okay, new journal. Okay. So again, one point we have to keep in mind. For the current year, we can never calculate. Okay, for current, because it is incomplete year. The whole year has to be over. So we are in 2023, it is still running. So for 2023, we have to consider the year 2022. So while calculating impact factor for 2022, we have to consider the number of citations received and number of articles appeared in the previous 2 years, like 2020 and 2021 respectively. So then when you get the data, you will be able to calculate nicely. This is how we calculate for a simple journal. Now we have to understand, when there is an indicator to measure the quality of a journal, why do we need another indicator called H index? Okay, H index. Now we have to critically analyze the formula. Okay, formula of this impact factor. Okay, impact factor. Number of citations received divided by number of articles appeared. Okay, if there are 100 articles appeared or published in a particular journal in the last 2 years, all 100 articles may not have got equal number of citations. 1/3 might have got 2 to 10. Another 1/3 might have got 1 to 2. Okay, another 1/3 might have got only 0 citations. Still, the number of citations, was equally distributed among all the papers. So authors who had citations had to sacrifice, and the authors who did not get even a single citation had to enjoy. So this was the limitation with the formula of this impact factor. To eliminate that, limitation, we came out the Hirsch, a physicist came out with the H index, which is for everything except article level metrics. H index is for everything. So impact factor is for the journal alone. H index is for everything except for article. Okay, article level metrics. So how it is calculated? If I have, I was showing you a statistics in the beginning. If I have 100 papers to my credit, all 100 papers may not have been cited equally because of many reasons. Maybe journal selection is wrong, or I have sliced papers with a single idea, or I have duplicated papers, I have plagiarized. There may be many reasons. But still, when you say you have 100 papers to your credit, and how many papers have been actually used by the people? How much do you have influenced the target audience? So when you say in the column B, all your papers are ranked based 15, 14, 14 like that. On the other hand, in column A, you assign paper numbers as 1, 2, 3. Where you find perfect match, like 7, 7, 6, 6, that particular part is called a H index. That value is called H index. That means the theory of H index states that, out of 100 of my publications, 7th of my paper might have got at least 7 citations. So that is what the theory of H index states. It's like, almost like in commerce, if you see break-even point, okay, break-even point, no profit, no loss point. So out of 100 articles, 7th of my paper has got 7 citations. So H index would be 7. Okay, this is what. And a range of H index, it's not that much required for, it is actually more than 20 after putting about 20 years of service, only for the scientists working in the laboratories. Okay, for academicians like us, after 20 years, 12 or more than enough. Okay, this is what. Now the last strategy is, low research impact and visibility. Any research that is done has to be made visible. So as I said, for the people having journals indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, automatically they are made visible, and many people start using that. But for others who are not part of this Scopus or Web of Science, how we have to make our research visible? Okay, there is a tool called Social Science Research Network. It's a free social media platform where you can, deposit all your publications subject to copyright. Okay, I'll tell you how it has to be. So it was developed by Korea University. This is the URL. Within 2 minutes, you can download. Okay, within 2 minutes, you can download. It doesn't occupy more space also, very small file. Okay, you can simply download. So once you download, you have to create your own page. So this is a home page. Since I belong to social sciences, I have selected SSRN, but it is available for all the domains. If you look at the left side, okay, like accounting research network, ARN, anthropology and archaeology research, ARN, like that. For if you scroll down, you will find for all the domains. So suitably, you can select and create your own page. So this is my own page which I have created. So once you create your own page, it will allow you to deposit all your publications. And since it's a social media platform, you can also browse other submissions. Okay. Now, once you create your own page, you can submit all your papers like this once you submit. Okay. So here, submission is subject to copyright. So if the copyright is with the commercial publishers, you are not permitted to submit your article here. So in this case, for being copyright with the publishers, you will be given preprints before actually it is published. The preprints, copyright will be lying with the authors. So you can submit your preprints, or up to abstract level you can deposit, and along with the link to the full text. Okay, link to the publisher or commercial publisher. So then it will be our end users will come to know about our publication, and it would be with the publishers. Then they will contact the publisher. It is between the publisher and the end user. He or she will be able to get that. But the point here is that all our publications, whether it is Scopus or Web of Science or care list journals, not indexed in this one, Scopus or Web of Science, or some print journals which are peer reviewed, all publications can be brought at one place. Okay, in this SSR. So if I deposit all my publications in SSRN, how will the people come to know about my publication? That may be your doubt. Okay, now when you deposit all your publications in SSRN, within 7 minutes it will be indexed in Google Scholar. So when all my papers submitted in SSRN are indexed in Google Scholar, it is visible to the entire world. So anybody can make use of it. Okay, now if I deposit all my publications in SSRN and it's all indexed automatically in 7 minutes in Google Scholar, so how will I measure my impact? That may be your question. For that, we have another tool called Publish or Perish. Again, developed by a management professor from Melbourne University, Australia. This is the URL. It may take another 2 minutes to download and install in our system. So what it does. This Publish or Perish obtains citations from Google Scholar, because unless you have the citation details, you may not be able to measure any indicator. Okay, you can't apply any indicator to measure the research impact of either author or a journal or an institution. Anything is not possible. So now this Publish or Perish, what it does, it harvests raw citations and it calculates. How it is calculating, this is how it calculates. Look at this one. So when you have both the software, okay, open source software installed in your system, against author impact, I have given my name. Okay, Sevukan, right? Sevukan. Simply key in and click on lookup. Okay, lookup. It will come out with all details about an author. Papers, number of papers, number of citations, number of years, then number of citations per paper, your H index, G index, and all, with all particulars. And this is one. The feature of this is if you have two Sevukans, one on Pondicherry University, other maybe in IIT Delhi. Okay. If you have to exclude that Sevukan from IIT Delhi, Sevukan, IIT Delhi, all the publications made by Sevukan IIT Delhi would be excluded. So in spite of that filtering, if you find any more documents overlapping with your publications, there is another option, check, uncheck boxes. So if you just uncheck one box, one article will be removed from here. Accordingly, all these values will be changed. So this is, how we have to, measure our own impact for the articles which are not covered in either Scopus or Web of Science using these open source tools. Okay. So this is, what we have to think, we spent a lot of time, money, for conducting research. Time is money and energy, according to me. So that should not be wasted, by considering all this, because I have systematically presented from conception to making our documents, publications visible to the target audience for better visibility and greater impact. So these are the, strategies that I have found as, flaws, for not having proper impact for the publication. Though we are able to produce good number of publications for many organizations, but we are not able to reach the global audience for better visibility and impact. So I sincerely request each one of you to stick to all these parameters, whatever we have discussed here. All these 10 points. There are many more points, but due to lack of time, I may not be able to cover all those points, but these 10 are pertinent points which have to be kept in mind, at least by the research scholars who are attending this workshop. So with this, I conclude my presentation. If you have any queries, I'll be happy to answer. So over to you, madam or sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Now it is time for the participants to ask your lines are open. You can unmute yourself and you can ask question.
Yeah, any questions are welcome, and I'll be very happy if you ask any questions related to research.
Hello,
Any
participants. Please unmute yourself and ask question. Otherwise, you can write in the chat box.
I have given the option of unmuting themselves, sir. Yeah. Prayush Rangan.
I'm not finding any question in the chat box also.
No, one scholar. Prayush Rangan.
Hello, sir. Am
Yes,
I
you-
audible, sir? I am Dr.
Yeah,
Siskiran.
you are audible.
You are audible.
Yeah, I am Dr. Siskiran from Geetham University.
Yeah.
Lot of information, sir. Thank you very much for that, first of all.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
And it's highly useful for both faculty as well as scholars also.
Okay.
And my query is related to, most of the time you started telling about science and engineering, but we belong to humanities.
Okay.
So what is our status as far as research is concerned?
Yeah.
At global level? That is one, my query.
Okay.
Second thing is something very personal, like
Yeah.
personal in the sense my research related thing.
Okay.
Sometimes I happen to read some of the papers, at least 9 papers, sir.
Okay.
I placed it into my mail also later on, where they started saying my name
Okay.
and started saying about my paper also.
Okay.
Of course, it is maybe some international journal paper, not Scopus and all. But there is no citation in their what we call references and all.
Okay.
How does it actually stand? Where does it stand actually in such
Okay.
cases? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
This is
ma'am.
my second query. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Your first question, the status of our humanities research globally.
At global level. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
at global level, it is not
Yes.
up to expectations, ma'am. Actually, social sciences, as I have already told you,
Yeah.
contribution to predatory journals is very high. So the publication contribution made by the social science scholars and
Okay.
also researchers are more,
Okay.
are more to this one predatory journals. And also secondly, India is
Sir.
the second largest producer of predatory publications, predatory journals. And also I was showing you some fake impact factor companies and agencies, and
Yeah.
most they are all from India. Mostly
Oh.
they are from India. So in the global arena, ours is
Sir.
not up to the expectations, ma'am. So that is on
Sir,
one.
in this background, let me extend my question. In this background,
Yeah.
how can we support or help our own scholars
Yeah.
so that they don't fall into this, but still they can complete their publication within the time, because it's
Yes, ma'am.
taking a lot of time for
Yeah,
them?
that is what, because they lack clarity in conducting research and also writing papers. The
Yeah.
10 points what I have highlighted here, if they stick to this as a checklist,
Yes,
the
sir.
quality to our quality can be, significantly enhanced, because this is not, I'm not presenting only in this forum. Almost all the HRDs in India, I teach for various disciplines. So,
Yeah.
most of the teachers who are attending refresher course and orientation program, they lack knowledge on this. So they have to be sensitized first. Then also we have to provide some hands-on training to the people in the presence of guide and the scholars.
Yes, sir.
At times, what happens when we teach one of the teachers, it goes to only themselves. They don't come out with a solution to experiment with the scholars. And
Yes,
when we
sir.
teach the scholars, they are also reluctant, because I also have seen in many places as a doctoral committee member, when I go, I find a lot of problems in the either proposal or the research. And I
Sure.
just suggest for improvement. When I
Okay.
go next time for the meeting, follow-up meeting, I can't find the resulting changes, revision in the
Yeah,
proposal, in the work.
that will be. They continue
And
the
what
same thing.
happens, I would not reveal in the meeting, but I would
Yes.
personally call that scholar
Yeah.
when the guide is not there.
Yes, sir.
The one fellow, he revealed that, sir, I told you many, suggestions, but you have not incorporated even one. Why? Then
Yeah.
that he said that, sir, he said, whatever he said, is wrong. That guide, original guide was telling the scholar that whatever I suggested is wrong. And what the guide said was right. So
Yes, that will be there.
with the errors, it goes like that. So who is to be blamed here, whether the scholar or the guide? So all
Yes.
are equally responsible. We have to have a common forum where we can find teachers and the scholars at one place. Then we have to, speak on these areas one by one. Maybe we can have it for 1 week. For each, each strategy, what I have mentioned here, it needs 1 day for each
Yes.
strategy. So
Yes,
like
sir.
that, we have to sensitize people to improve the situation. Otherwise, it is not going to be improved at all.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And my second
Next.
query?
Yeah, second query you said about visibility and coverage. For that
Yes,
only,
sir.
at the end, I have given you one tool, SSR, Social Science Research Network. As I also mentioned as part of my presentation, one scientist from IGCAR Kalpakam, his
Okay.
number of papers is, he is from metallurgy department, metallurgy,
Yes.
and he has got about 410 papers to his credit with the 62 H index. And he told me, not even a single paper has been published in a journal with impact factor not more than 5. That means he called it as decent journal. So there
Yes,
are
sir.
good number of journals, ma'am, because I have already shown you a tool also, journal selection tool. So we
Yes,
have to
sir.
tell our scholars to make use of those tools
Sure,
to
sir.
identify the genuine journal with a nominal impact factor.
Okay.
So within
Okay.
that, we can prioritize any journal based on our standard. Okay,
Yes,
standard.
sir.
We
Yes.
cannot expect that a journal with maybe 15, 20 impact factor in social sciences, it would be difficult. So we
Yes,
can
sir.
identify a journal with decent impact factor, and we should ask them to write the manuscript, prepare the manuscript according to the guidelines of that particular journal. So they will be able to do that, because I have experimented initially.
Yes, sir.
Some of my scholars, who were doing, they were reluctant, but I did not discourage them. When they come to me with the article prepared, they will say, "Sir, I would like to publish this article in Scientometrics. It's a very reputed journal in our field."
Yes,
I
sir.
did not discourage. I simply said that no, it's a female scholar. I said, I don't discourage your idea or your enthusiasm, but you can submit. But as a teacher, I know very well that it will bounce back within 3 days. I told her. So she submitted that article. As I said correctly, within 3 days it came out. It came back. Stating that this is not up to the expectations. So you have to completely revise your work. So like that. But no,
Yes,
but
sir.
like that, and again she submitted to 2 more journals. She received the same response. Then I told her, you come here, I will tell you where all you have problems. Then I started telling her, starting from conceptual background till the conclusion, there are issues. I can't rewrite for you, but I can tell you only the problems where all you have. Then I started
Yes.
doing one by one. She spent about 2 months only for revision. Only for
Oh.
revision of that manuscript. Then I
Oh.
told her one journal to submit. So it was accepted. It is in actually Emerald Journal, impact factor of more than 4. So
Oh.
that should be the thing, ma'am. Actually, we have to train the people properly by making them understand about the quality. Because if have more and more publications with low impact, that also affects the GDP. There are studies. So
Yes, sir.
it ultimately affects that nation's development. So
Yes, sir.
utilization of knowledge has to be properly applied. Unless it
Yes.
is applied, you just see, ma'am, number of libraries we have and the number of amount of resources what we have in the libraries. What's the
Yes,
return
sir.
on that? There is no return. It's all only intellectual
Yes, yes.
investments. Intellectual
Yes,
investment. So that has to be properly, ethically, and genuinely used. For that, we have to work very hard, and we have to work in a coordinated manner. Even you can just ask your librarians, your scholars,
Yes,
and also teacher. All three have to coordinate properly. So then only you'll be able to achieve the quality
sir.
of
Thank you, sir.
So this is
Yes,
how we
sir.
have to go, man. This is my view.
Yes,
Your view
sir.
may be different. I'm just
Okay.
sharing my only experience, man.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Any
much.
more questions?
Sir, Sarkar, sir.
Yes, sir. One more question is in chat box. That
Yeah.
question is Kameshwari madam, I think, asked it here that
Yeah.
are there any paid journals? How can we speed up the process of publications in Scopus indexing as delay leads to payment of fees for every semester? Any suggestions?
Okay. It's a very tricky question because I am against this care list, UGC care list. Because let me tell you one example from our own discipline. We had one journal. I will not reveal the name of the journal. It was there till 2021. Till 2021. They were not charging money, but it was in Scopus. It was in Scopus. So what people did was, at a time they will send 8 papers together at a single submission. All 8 papers would be published in the same issue without even changing anything. There would be inconsistencies. Okay. But people like us, normally we do research on the journals also. So when I took up this journal, this actually for one particular year, there was no article at all. In 1 year, more than 2,800 articles published in 1 year, in one particular year, in the same journal. Then I wrote to Scopus. It was in Scopus. The one of the criteria is that it has to be published at regular intervals without any delay. So when there was 0 article, was it not delay? Second one, every issue has to have the limitation of publishing some number of articles, maybe not more than 12. But how was it possible for a journal to publish more than almost close to 3,000 articles? How is it? So, they had no answer. And finally, based on queries, not only me, many people started writing. So the H index, everything, was inflated based on this particular journal. Now it is completely removed from the Scopus. So that is on the one hand. So on the other hand, when you talk about, is there any paid journal? Journals are there, paid journals, like, for example, it's called hybrid journal. Like, for example, in our discipline, that cytometrics is a journal. Okay. It is published automatically without charges. Okay, without charges. If you have to publish your article well in advance before it is actually published, okay, to the target audience, if you want to make it open, before it is actually published, you have to pay extra. So that is, that is considered to be a paid journal indexed in Scopus. And there are some journals which are charging money through the agents. Okay, I'm not supposed to tell this, but through agents, there are some journals, okay, with agents, those people are, contacting the authors to help them to get their articles published in Scopus indexed journals, which is considered to be paid. But again, I am cautioning you, with the time, if it is noticed, those journals also will be removed. It is not safe to pay and publish in Scopus indexed journals. So it is always good to identify a decent journal with a low impact. Even without impact factor also, there are many journals, decent journals. In such journals, you can do that. But if you write well your article, definitely, your article will be published. Because I'll tell you as an example, one of my scholars from Kashmir, he came with a new idea on text mining. And he after his before his award of degree, he had 9 papers indexed in Scopus and Web of Science. We are from Library Science. Again, I'm not exaggerating. 9 papers to his credit before his degree awarded in Scopus and Web of Science journals. Not less than impact factor 3. So it is very much possible. You don't have to pay, ma'am, but you can. You have to actually think of writing our content in a quality manner, considering all the aspects, whatever we have said. Definitely your article will be considered, because we are also responsible. We are also responsible because any manuscript comes to me, I will go through 2 to 3 times. If it is, acceptable to me, then only it will go to any journal. Otherwise, it doesn't go. Simply passing an article, to any journal will not, pass. So we have to identify the right journal. Payment is not a problem, but paying in a journal, indexed in Scopus, is according to me, I will say it is a shortcut, but it will have to face some consequences also in the future. I hope I have answered.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, just a little doubts are here.
Yes, sir, please.
I will share the screen, sir. 1 minute. See here. Is it visible to you, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is one thing.
Okay.
I will show you the same ISSN number.
Yeah.
With the same title.
Yes, sir.
See this one, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is actually called. Shall I answer your question, sir?
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir. Continue, sir.
Yeah, it is called hijacked or cloned journal. Okay. IAS Current Science. It's a very popular journal, sir. Everybody knows. Indian Academy of Sciences, Current Science. It's a very popular journal. And what some people do, they will exactly imitate with the same ISSN, impact factor, everything will be same. Only to cheat authors. So what we have to do here is that, sir, we have to cross-check with either JCR, Journal Citation Report, or Scopus, if it is actually indexed. So when you click on that particular journal in Scopus, it will tell you the complete story since when this is there in Scopus, and what is the status of now, as of now, how many citations, everything you can check. But this kind of complete details, you may not find in this particular journal. ISSN would be same, but that would not be indexed in Scopus. So there will be difference in data about that particular journal as far as the citations are concerned. And how many?
I went through the Scopus database, sir. I went through Simago.
Okay.
Through Simago, I caught this one.
Yeah, that is what, sir. No, that is actually, it is systematically done by some people, okay, hackers that cannot be prevented. But again, we have to be cautious enough. We should avoid that kind of journals. See, there are 2 with the same title, so definitely it is either cloned or hijacked. So we have to be we have to simply avoid such journals, sir. So that is what's happening now in the publication industry, and we have to be very careful with that.
We caution all the research scholars, sir, in this.
Yeah, they have to be sensitized on these issues. Okay, even we can have separate session on predatory journal also. How we have to identify and what all the evolving strategies that they follow to cheat authors. So all those things also can be sensitized to the participants.
Thank you.
If it permits, sometime later we will do it, sir, because it's all these issues are very close to my heart.
Sure, sir.
Sarkar, sir.
Sir, one more, question is there in the chat box.
Yeah,
Our
actually.
faculty member, Shravan Jadi madam has asked that if I published a journal ranked in Scopus in 2019, after
Yeah.
that, the journal was
Yes, sir. Yes,
removed
I
from
got the question, sir.
Scopus.
Sir, I got the
20.
question, sir. So
Yes.
I was giving an example. Till 2021, one journal was there in Scopus, and many people have published. Now, there are two things. UGC also came out. Once the journal is removed from the Scopus, all those citations also have to be removed retrospectively. Okay, that is one version. The other version, recently, we wanted a clarification from that. Now they are telling, if I claim that one article which was published in 2019, when the journal was in Scopus, when we apply for recruitment or promotions, the screening committee has to consider that. So if your article has been published after 2019, when the journal was not in Scopus, that won't be considered. Very clear. So as long as the period the journal was there in the Scopus or Web of Science, articles also would be considered. Articles published in those period would be considered. And for not indexed period, your articles will not be considered. Is it clear?
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Anything
Sarkar,
else?
sir?
Yes, sir. Should I continue with the feedback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
you,
you
sir.
very much, sir.
Thank
Right,
you
sir.
for
Thank you so
enlightening
much.
us.
I thank each one of you for your patient listening and giving me time for interaction.
So now we would like to invite few participants to unmute themselves and give feedback. Like Professor Geeta Rai, madam, from Delhi University. Are you there, madam?
Yes, I am there.
Yeah, please, ma'am, give your feedback.
Could you express
True.
your opinion on this
Yes.
workshop
sir.
and also for the last consequent 10 days workshop, sir, as it is the last day, so that let us have
Right.
input from before.
Right, sir. Good evening to everyone present here. I, Dr. Geeta Rai, faculty, CIE, Delhi University, thank the team of VFSTR, deemed to be University, Vadlamudi, Andhra Pradesh, India, for organizing such a brilliant workshop on research methodology. My special thanks goes to the head of the department, Professor Sarada Madam, Professor Mohana Charyulu sir, and the entire team for allowing me to be a part of this workshop. The 10 days international workshop, which started on December 5th, 2023, have been absolutely amazing and enlightening. I had a fantastic learning experience. The lectures were indeed very informative and insightful. I must congratulate the organizers for the selection of the resource persons and the topics. Each topic was pertinent for today's time. I would like to mention a few of the informative sessions here. Like we had a session on new age tools in research by Professor Dilip Bharat sir from MK Bhavnagar University, Gujarat. His session was eye-opening, I think, for everyone, especially for me, because he made us realize that how important it is to have a research profile and why we should have one such a profile. He did a very innovative session of survey where we were the participant and we realized where we were lacking as a researcher. This was one of the most takeaway sessions. Even today's session by Professor R. Sevukan on scholarly writing is very important for all the researchers and the faculty members, where we are all in a rush to publish research papers for our promotions and to get our API scores. We learned a lot, but still it was a mind-boggling lecture today, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. R. Sevukan, sir. I think we have learned a lot from you, but it is just the beginning. More questions are there, and I think many of the participants would like to know more about it. Not to forget Professor Venkata Reddy's first day lecture when he when he taught us how to deduce a problem using narrative of Chuni. That was such a interesting way of doing research. Other lectures which are on ELT theories by Professor V. Sudhakar, Professor Anuma from Sri Lanka, who delivered lectures on approaches and methodology. Then we had Dr. Samir Babu from Jamia Millia Islamia, who explained us about research documentation. Trends and approaches in literary research by Dr. Prakash Kona was another very interesting session. Then we had Paradigm in Reading Literature by Dr. Tirupati Rao. Professor Rajni Singh from Dhanbad deliberated her lecture on exploring interdisciplinary research. And all these lectures were very informative and mind-boggling. Lastly, I would like to mention here, despite the cyclone that interrupted the internet, the team facilitated the session well on time on the first day. We were very confused whether we would start the session because right on the first day, the cyclone had hit and the internet problem issue had arisen, which was shared by the team later. I would also like to thank Sarkar sir for his consistent posting in the WhatsApp chat, encouraging the participants to join early. I will end my sentence here saying, fantastic workshop. Thanks a lot to all present here who made this workshop a wonderful session. I hope we all stay in touch and learn from each other. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Geeta ma'am. Thank you for your valuable words. Now I would like to call Shubhashi madam, lecturer from Open University of Sri Lanka. Are you there, madam?
Yes, I am there. Am I audible,
please,
sir?
give us
Am
some
I audible,
feedback.
sir?
Yes, audible.
Yes. Thank you very much for allowing me to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers and the resource persons of this comprehensive 10-day virtual workshop. I'm Subhashi Vijayasinghe, a Sri Lankan University academic from the Department of English Language Teaching at the Open University of Sri Lanka. I would like to express that the initiative taken by the Department of English at Vignan University is thoughtful and timely. The organizers have put a lot of effort into arranging this 10-day virtual workshop to provide maximum benefit to the junior research scholars. And also, I consider myself fortunate to have attended this workshop, and I extend my thanks to Dr. Kiran for making it happen. Because when I encountered difficulties in making payments from Sri Lanka to this Indian account while registering for the workshop, it was Dr. Kiran who generously paid my registration fee, enabling me to attend the workshop. So this indicates how the organizers went out of their way to assist interested participants to overcome obstacles. So thank you, Dr. Kiran, for your generosity. The session themes were intelligently chosen, logically aligned, and thoughtfully scheduled to provide maximum benefit to the participants, minimizing difficulties in participation. All the resource persons were eminent figures in the academic world, and the sessions were found to be very informative and interesting. There were some very nice features in this workshop that I observed for the first time in a virtual workshop. One such feature is that the organizers kept the participants connected through a WhatsApp group, which remained active throughout the workshop period. Therefore, there was no way that the participants could miss or forget a single session. Additionally, all the materials and even the session recordings were shared on this forum without any delay. The workshop summary delivered at the beginning of every session was another useful feature that I observed in this workshop. So thank you, the organizing committee, the Department of English, and the head of the department, Dr. Sharda ma'am, and the Vignan University for your great work, and wish you more and more energy and courage to organize such brilliant events in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable words. Now I would like to call Professor Jaideep Patel. He is from Gujarat, Shah Case Art and VM Parekh Commerce College. Are you there, sir? Okay. Now I would move on to Professor Sujan Diwan. He is also from Gujarat, from Parul University. Sir, are you there? Okay. Now I would like to call Sudeshna Saha, madam, from Vishwabharati University, West Bengal. Please give us some feedback regarding your experience. Thank you. Are you there, madam? Please unmute yourself. Sudeshna, madam? Okay.
Hello?
Yes, madam.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
madam.
audible.
Yeah, sir. Sorry, I was, I didn't. I didn't find the time to unmute, but it was really nice to attend the workshop of this research methodology course, and it was very enlightening to hear all the sessions. Though in between I had some medical issues, so I was not able to attend some in between. But overall, it was a very enriching experience. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be an active participant in this workshop. And I look forward to such workshops in near future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I would like to call Ritika Ozha, madam, from SR University, Telangana. Please unmute yourself, madam. Ritika, madam?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello?
Unmute yourself, madam.
So now Roshan Jamir sir
Yeah.
from Gitam University, Telangana.
Hello, madam.
Yeah, good
Sir.
evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm Roshan from Gitam University. I'm a research scholar. To be frank, I have no words to express because it was such a valuable session for all the research scholars and the associates who are who have assembled virtually here. And every moment, whatever the lectures were delivered by all the resource persons, it is really an eye opener for all of us. And as especially today's session, Dr. R. Sevukan sir, he has abundance of knowledge, and I'm indeed fortunate to be a part of this workshop, well organized by all the team. And a special thanks to the Vignan University for facilitating us this kind of workshop virtually. And I request on the same context to conduct such one more session by Dr. R. Sevukan sir, because 10 strategies which he has told, it takes more time to digest, assimilate. So in a nutshell, I can say it is highly productive, very, very informative. A great applause to all the resource persons as well as the team of Vignan University.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam.
Dept
Now,
madam is there.
our last feedback would be from our research scholar, departmental research scholar, Amjad Khan. Are you there, Amjad Khan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please,
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah. Thank you, sir. I don't want to say many things about it, but about this workshop in overall, I can see myself a difference from before the workshop and after the workshop. Literally, I can see how I have a clear picture of what I'm. Since I'm a beginner, I just started my like I'm in my coursework and everything. I literally have the clarity. Like I can really feel the difference now. Like where was I? What are the things I want to do? So like to be frank, when we there was discussion to make this into virtual and everything, so I thought of it is like will it be convenient for us, not in the way like will it be easily we can do it, we can digest it and everything, but there was no such a thing issues with that. The sessions were really really engaging, and literally it made a difference in as far as I'm concerned. Like it is I hope it is applicable to every other scholars, I guess, like those who have started just now, and like not just now, those who scholars are in their pursuit of their PhD. So I really I'm really happy and I'm really thankful to be a part of this, and I really feel the difference. That's what all I want to know, all I want to say. I really feel the difference, and thank you for this, sir. Thank you. This was a wonderful workshop. That's what all I want to know. I want to say, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Amjad. Thank you so much.
Sarkar sir,
So,
Ritika Oja madam is online, I think so.
okay.
Ask her.
She can
Madam, are you online?
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir, am I audible now?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. For last time, I guess there was some glitch on my part. I was unable to speak. Yeah, so good evening, everybody. I'm really very glad to be a part of this workshop. It's no easy task to organize a task of a workshop of this, scope. It's like spread over around 10 days, and 10 really resourceful people were there with us. I found all the sessions very engaging, enlightening, and useful. And apart from that, like other people mentioned, I would really like to extend my gratitude to the organizers. The way they have streamlined everything was amazing. You kept on like providing all the recordings, which will be very helpful for us to refer to in future. And if we are again conducting such a workshop or a webinar or a seminar, I would be more than glad to be a part of it. Special thanks to all the resource people and also the organizers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, madam. So, Mahanacharulu sir, please go ahead.
Now, as a concluding remarks from Professor Sharda madam, I would like to request her to give a valedictory information to all the participants, and as a request from the research scholars from various states of India and abroad, I assure you, with the permission of Professor Sharda madam, we can conduct some more workshop, maybe in the blended mode also. We are planning to do that as virtual and also on physical. And now I request Professor Sharda madam to make a concluding remark on this session for closing this 10-day international workshop on research methodology. Over to Professor Sharda madam.
Thank you very much, Professor Mohanacharyu and Dr. Sarkar. So it is indeed a pleasure to have listened to all the eminent resource persons in this last 10-day session of our workshop on research methodology. Particularly today's session was extremely enriching. I thank Professor Sevukan sir. He has shed light on some of the standards we could apply for determining the quality of research, especially we as research scholars and faculty members. How can we apply these standards to determine the quality of a publication, and some of the sites he has and tools that he has shared with us, how to make our research more visible, and some of the things that we could avoid to get into trouble, especially when we are sharing papers for publication in journals. What are the do's and don'ts, and what are the things that we need to be cautious about? Those were very, very useful, I guess, for many scholars and even for faculty, as many of the participants have rightly pointed out. It was a very enriching session, and we hope that we can have more sessions with Sevukan sir. He has so much experience, and coming especially from the Library and Information Sciences Department, I'm sure he could share with us much more valuable inputs. But for paucity of time, I think sir had to cut short his presentation, but we hope to have more such sessions so that we can be guided by him. I thank you very much, Professor Sevukan sir, for sparing your valuable time. And though it's so late, you have patiently borne with us while we were sharing the feedbacks, and we look forward to continuing our association with you. Then I would also like to thank all the resource persons from day 1 to day 10 who have shared and who have taken our scholars and the research fraternity in general through the journey of how to start with research. Even Sevukan sir was today talking about right from how to propose a research problem, how you are going to draft your proposal, how to conduct literature review. Very, very useful. In fact, it comes from a lot of experience guiding many scholars and probably adjudicating many theses over long years of intensive research. And some of the tools, some of the new age tools that we could use for research documentation, for conducting reviews, and for also making our research. Sir today has given a very, very valuable input that don't look for journals which are just impact factor, but look for journals where your target audience is likely to be referring to. So that was a very, very excellent and very insightful input given by Sevukan sir. So we should stop chasing journals just because they happen to have an impact factor. If you're doing quality research, I think we should be looking at decent journals, and we should be publishing where our research is likely to be referred by co-scholars. That I think is a very, very wonderful suggestion given by sir, and it is a wake-up call to many of our scholars who are worried about impact factor. Then I would, yes, without any further delay, I would like to conclude today's session by thanking all the participants who have joined us from different parts of the country and different parts of the world as well. I thank them for their very active participation. Every session was beautifully attended, and I could see that they were continuously engaging with the resource person, highly interactive, posing a lot of questions, which was also useful to their co-scholars. And but last but not the least, I particularly thank the excellent coordination of our organizing committee, the team of the research methodology workshop committee, Dr. Annapurna Kiranmai, Dr. Rima Chakravarti, Dr. Baiju Krishnan, Dr. Mamun Sarkar, Dr. Shakila Banu, who have been at the forefront managing both the technology as well as the feedback and then the participant attendance. Everything, every detail has been meticulously attended to. And my special thanks to Professor Mohana Charyulu, the research coordinator for our department, who has been giving very, very wonderful motivation to this organizing committee, sharing his valuable inputs and giving them his continuous support. So I thank the entire department, the faculty members of our department who have been at the back end, offering their support to active participation for this workshop. And I would like to thank our administration, our management for giving us the unstinted support to make this research methodology workshop possible. I thank all the research scholars who have been avidly listening to all the resource persons and also posing very, very pertinent questions, which have been very insightful for every participant who have been part of this workshop. My respectful thanks to all, Thank you very much, sir. And Sevukan, sir, once again, my heartfelt gratitude to you for sharing your scholarship and your valuable time with us.
Yeah,
Sir.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. May I leave the
Yes,
format?
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks to
So,
everyone.
your feedback link is given in the chat box. Please fill this feedback link and fill this form, and we will issue your certificates very soon. Of course, after verification of your registration fees, attendance, and quiz performances of the last 10 days. So I'd like to thank each and everyone. Thank our esteemed guest, Professor Sevukan sir, for excellent lecture. With spending some time with us, I'm sure that this will be extremely helpful for most of the researchers working hard in their respective research work. So I would like also to thank all the departmental people like HOD Madam, Professor A. Sharada, Research Coordinator Sir, Professor G. Mohanacharulu, our core team Dr. Shakila Banu Madam, Dr. Kiranmay Madam, Rima Chakraborty Madam, that Baiju Sir, and also the other faculty members who supported, guided us with their able guidance and with their active participation. And of course, last but not the least, I'd like to thank all the participants sincerely for their active participation in this work, with which they made the overall program a grand success. We are really happy to have you here again. And in future, if we conduct anything, please stay connected with our WhatsApp group, through our WhatsApp group. Surely we'll put something new, that whenever we get something new, we'll share with you. Thank you so much. Good night. Manacharlu sir.
Thank you, sir. Shall I end the meeting, sir?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me how long the feedback link will be available today?
Today feedback link will be available till 9:30, sir.
Okay, sir. Right. Thank you,
I'll
Varenda.
also share the link and YouTube link and other things very soon.
Okay.
Once I create it.
Okay. Thank you, Varenda. Seeking the same cooperation in future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you.